Get your shovels ready. Another round of snow coming to southern Wisconsin. We'll share what we can expect.
You don't believe it's happening, really.
Emotional words from Ukraine after Russian President Vladimir Putin orders a full-scale invasion. We have the latest, including new sanctions from President Biden.
Plus, how will the war impact the U.S. economy? We speak with a local expert on what it means for prices right here in Wisconsin. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. More snow is heading to southern Wisconsin.
How much could we get? Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti is out on the weather patio. Gary?
Well, the snow is just starting to come down here in the backyard. Got just a little bit of a dusting on the ground, but it looks like it's going to start picking up in intensity pretty quickly. Let's start out by taking a look at Doppler track. You can see the widespread area of snow now breaking out over most of southern Wisconsin. The heavier bands of snow are just starting to move into western and northwestern Dane County, and you can tell this by the visibility. Here at the airport in Madison, visibility is at 9 miles, but Boswell down to a half mile in moderate snow and 1 mile visibility in Lone Rock in light to occasionally moderate snow. So that's where the heavier snow is. Winter weather advisories are in effect until 3 a.m. tomorrow morning for Crawford, Richland, and Grant counties east of there, including Dane County, Madison, Milwaukee. Those advisories run until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Temperatures are in the upper teens and lower 20s as they drop off a little bit more tonight. That makes salt a little bit tougher to work on the roads. I'm sure the plows will be out, though. And you can see wind chills right now in the single digits, so that's adding a chill to the air as well. By tomorrow morning, temperatures will be down into the lower teens. The snow will probably taper to flurries after midnight and end by early tomorrow morning. Tomorrow will be a variably cloudy and cold day with a high of 25, but we'll start melting some of the snow actually as we head into next week. I'll tell you how much snow to expect and when it'll end a little bit later on.
All right, Gary, thank you. And stay up to date on the latest weather conditions on our First Warn Forecast weather app, hourly forecast, road conditions, and the latest radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC Weather. After months of military buildup, Russia has now invaded Ukraine. The attack began last night Central Time with tanks first rolling in from the north, south, and eastern parts of the country.
Overnight bombings damaged several buildings across Ukraine. We spoke with UW-Madison professor of comparative politics and international relations, Yoshika Herrera, on Live at 4 about her thoughts on the invasion.
In terms of his proximate goals, it looks like he is trying to change the regime in Ukraine by invading the country and hoping to remove the existing government and install a pro-Russian government.
Well, dozens of people have already died in the attacks. Ukraine's health minister says so far more than 50 people were killed and over 160 injured, and those numbers, of course, are expected to rise.
President Biden and several other world leaders announced stricter sanctions on Russia in response to the invasion. Isabel Rosales has the details.
President Joe Biden unleashing several more crushing economic sanctions against Russia, saying they're designed to, quote, maximize long-term impact on Russia and minimize the impact in the U.S. and its allies.
The United States is not doing this alone.
Biden says the new sanctions will block 4 major Russian banks from the U.S. financial system, freezing their assets.
We will limit Russia's ability to do business in dollars, euros, pounds, and yen to be part of the global economy.
Before the first light of dawn, the Russian attack began. Missiles raining down on locations near the capital, Kyiv. Stunned Ukrainian families taking cover in subways turned bomb shelters.
They actually attacking in our neighborhood, and they're making us feel insecure and very unsafe.
Others scrambling to pull money out of ATMs or deadlocked in traffic to evacuate the capital city of Kyiv.
Well known.
In a chilling TV broadcast, Russian President Vladimir Putin warning other countries to not interfere.
Russia's response will be fast and leave you such consequences you will never face again, and you faced again in your history.
Biden unfazed in his response.
Putin is the aggressor. Putin chose this war, and now he and his country will bear the consequences.
In Washington, Isabel Rosales.
Members of Congress from both sides of the aisle have been largely united in their condemnation of the Russian attacks. They will receive an unclassified briefing from the top White House officials today.
So far, every Wisconsin Democrat and Republican lawmaker in Congress is speaking on Ukraine today, roundly denouncing Vladimir Putin for his aggression.
That's even after Donald Trump took to the airwaves just hours before the invasion, praising Putin for his strength and skill. Naomi Coles joins us now to explain. Naomi?
Senator Ron Johnson didn't even mention President Biden in his statements early this morning, but did say Putin's actions came because of weakness. He added, quote, ultimately, there is only one group of people responsible for the tragedies unfolding, Vladimir Putin and his cronies. Europe must act with strength and resolve to prevent risking a wider conflict. Our Janesville area Republican Representative Brian Stile took a similar line, not naming Biden, but roundly condemning Putin, saying Vladimir Putin's unprovoked and unjust attack on the people of Ukraine must be condemned and met with severe consequences. Now, on the Democratic side of lawmakers, they equally called for tough sanctions against Ukraine, although it's not yet clear whether Biden's announcements today meet the level of strictness many lawmakers called for. Before Biden's announcement, Senator Tammy Baldwin said, quote, Putin's aggression has been met with sanctions and his violent attack against Ukraine should be met with stronger sanctions, including a full set of punishing financial, technology, and military sanctions. And finally, Democratic Representative Gwen Moore said the United States and its partners and allies must remain unified as they consider options for responding to Russia's dangerous escalation and for providing support to the people of Ukraine and those displaced from their homeland. Not all of Wisconsin's delegation has spoken on this today. We haven't heard from Madison area Democrat Representative Mark Pocan or Republican Representative Glenn Grothman.
Naomi, thank you. Nearly 1,000 people have been detained in anti-war protests around Russia. Independent monitoring group OVD Info reports more than 981 protesters were taken into custody in 47 cities. Demonstrations without a permit are illegal in Russia, but individual single-person protests are allowed. Thousands of people took to the streets to protest the Russian attack on Ukraine.
Meanwhile, the UN asking neighboring countries to Ukraine to keep their borders open. Hundreds of people have already started to flee the country.
And you know, friends, everybody is in Kyiv now, and they are calling us and telling what is going on, and it's awful. My husband told me that I'm panicking, and it won't happen, and now it's true, and this is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, people are nervous. It's a kind of panic. We have long lines on the petrol stations, but it's just panic.
Now, some families have made their way already to Poland and Romania seeking safety. Hundreds of civilians piled into trains and cars to flee, and border crossings increased from Ukraine to Poland. Right now, surrounding countries are working on setting up refugee centers. As more citizens prepare to leave their homeland, long lines have formed outside pharmacies, ATMs, gas stations, as she mentioned, even gun stores in Ukraine. Cities and military bases across the country were hit with airstrikes and shellings overnight, forcing the people of Ukraine to make some tough decisions.
For Ukrainians in Wisconsin, some say the distance between them and their families back home feels endless. At the St. Michael's Ukrainian Catholic Church in Milwaukee, more than a dozen Ukrainians prayed for their relatives back home. And while there is still so much unknown, they say their people are strong and will never stop fighting for their freedom. One woman also said the last few days have been difficult for her community.
We just did not think this was going to happen at all. I mean, this sort of thing of invasion is just like an old century thing where you learn in history books, and it should be in history. We were so agitated yesterday, we didn't sleep at night. We kept on calling everybody, my professors, my grandparents, my teachers, everyone that we know, just to keep updated. Thankfully, everybody's in Western Ukraine, and it's okay.
In another show of support, St. Michael's Ukrainian Catholic Church is hosting a Stand with Ukraine rally tomorrow morning. We know there is a lot going on in Ukraine right now, with new information coming in constantly, and we are keeping track of all of those updates in a special section of our website on channel3000.com. There you'll find the latest news from Ukraine and what the U.S. and its allies are doing. You can find that section right on the homepage. Just scroll down to Crisis in Ukraine.
Next at 5, the long-awaited investigation into the state's 2020 election commissioned by Assembly Speaker Robin Vos is expected to be delivered early next week. This news comes on the last day of the Assembly legislative session, where the Republican-controlled legislature plans to send a package of election and voting bills to the governor. Speaker Vos says the investigation by Michael Gableman should be thorough.
If the broad swath of citizens actually read what was in the bills that we're proposing today, the Democrats would feel pressure to actually push forward to say these are very reasonable ideas. The investigation that we're doing is based on reasonable ideas.
And even when our systems work exactly as they are designed to catch human error and fix it, Republicans complain. It's ridiculous.
As for the election bills heading his way, Governor Evers said at an event today that he will veto any bill that makes it more difficult to vote. He'll look at each bill individually for deciding whether or not to veto. Up next at 5, President Biden narrowing down his list of U.S. Supreme Court nominees.
Coming up, we'll take a closer look at who made the cut so far. And then later, a new healthcare company brings doctors to visit you at home when you're sick. I'll show you how Pivotal Health works coming up tonight at 6.
A wild day of swings on Wall Street in reaction to what's happening in Ukraine. The Dow tumbling early but finished up 92. The Nasdaq up 3%, climbing more than 436 points. The S&P jumped 63.
I'm Charlie D'Agata in Kyiv, Ukraine. Tonight on the CBS Evening News, we have the view from inside Ukraine, the latest on the Russian invasion, how the Ukrainian military is fighting back, how regular Ukrainians are reacting to what's going on as they brace for more to come. That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Attention homeowners, we're looking for 50 homeowners who need a new bath or shower. We want to evaluate our custom bathing solutions in real homes for safety and convenience. Call Wisconsin's #1 remodeler, Mad City Baths, your trusted local source for baths, easy access tub-to-shower conversions, and walk-in tubs installed in as little as 1 day. Act now to be one of 50 homeowners who receive special savings with free installation on a new bath or shower. 18 months, no interest, no payments, senior and military discounts. And we're going to take before and after pictures and compensate you for your time. Call during this program to receive a free $50 Amazon gift card with your free in-home estimate. From Madison throughout South Central Wisconsin, call now with zip code and location to qualify, 608-729-4466, 608-729-4466.
President's Day is the best time to buy furniture, and Slumberland Furniture is having one of their biggest sales of the year.
Wow. Wow is right.
Deals up to 50% off throughout the store. Find a great accent piece, a warm fireplace, an amazing recliner. Incredible deals throughout the store. See why this is one of the best times of the year to buy furniture. The huge President's Sale at Slumberland Furniture. And for your new mattress, come to Slumberland Sleep Solutions, where we've reinvented mattress shopping.
I want to be confident that my daughters will be okay.
I want to be sure that I'll be able to make it on my own.
That I'll be okay if my husband passes.
Through family legacies, divorce, and death, as women, we all want to be confident about our futures. At the Burrish Group at UBS, our financial professionals are experienced with all the challenges women face, no matter what life may bring.
Stretch your dollar with 11% off everything at Menards. Give any room a fresh look with the beauty and durability of tile from Mohawk. Mohawk features over 350 ceramic, porcelain, mosaic, and glass tiles. All Mohawk tiles are 11% off. Complete your tiling job with professional quality installation products from Tech. Menards carries Tech mortar and grout to work with all floor and wall tile sizes. Get 11% off Tech products at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Steady snow will continue to accumulate through much of the evening. I'll let you know when it'll end and how much it'll be.
And with Russia's invasion of Ukraine, we take a look at how that will impact the economy here in the States. What can we expect? We talk to an expert coming up tonight at 6.
News 3 Now's Call for Action team advocates for you, asking the right questions.
You hope to make that right.
And getting results.
They sent a water heater the next day after you made the call.
Call for Action, only on News 3 Now.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Right now, UW Health nurses are holding an informational picket and community rally calling for a nurses union. This is a live look at their demonstration. Organizers say nurses have continued to struggle with long-term problems over the course of the pandemic, including dangerous understaffing and alarming turnover. For over 2 years, nurses have been calling on the UW Health Board and administration to recognize their union so they can better advocate for themselves. But they say UW Health has refused recognition.
Moderna is testing a new kind of booster shot, which combines 2 types of vaccines. One is the company's original shot. The second adds an Omicron-specific vaccine. The company expects some data for this booster as early as next month. Pfizer is working on something similar, though FDA officials say it's unclear if an Omicron-specific vaccine will even be necessary.
During the Russian invasion of Ukraine, President Biden is still working to nominate a Supreme Court pick by Monday. He has promised to nominate a black woman to replace retiring Justice Stephen Breyer. Skylar Henry has more from Capitol Hill on this potentially historic choice.
CBS News has been told that President Biden's interviews with potential Supreme Court nominees have begun.
The President of the United States will announce soon a most eminently qualified, extraordinary lawyer and jurist who will have a record of excellence and who will happen to be a black woman.
One of the leading candidates is said to be federal appeals court judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. The Harvard Law School graduate is a former clerk for Justice Stephen Breyer, whose seat is being vacated. Another candidate is California Supreme Court Justice Leandra Kruger. At 45 years old, the Yale Law School graduate would be the youngest justice on the Supreme Court if confirmed. And the president is also said to be considering federal judge Michelle Childs, a University of South Carolina Law School graduate.
He takes the role that every president has in selecting and nominating someone to the Supreme Court very seriously.
With the midterm elections coming up and the balance of power at stake in the Senate, the president's decision to nominate a black woman to the position is being met enthusiastically by black voters who voted for him in the 2020 election. A new poll shows 63% of black Americans say it's very or extremely important to have a black woman on the highest court for the first time. But the poll also shows that 48% of Americans overall say it's not important to them personally. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Senate Democrats have vowed to move quickly with the confirmation process once the president makes his pick, which is expected between now and Monday. All right, a look at your certified most accurate weather now. Here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canaldi. Gary?
Snow starting to pick up in intensity out to the west of us. You can tell that by the visibilities. Here in Madison, 9-mile visibility with just some very light snow, but out to the west, visibilities generally between about 1 and 3 miles, as low as 3/4 of a mile in Dubuque, Iowa, and only a ½ mile in Boscobel with moderate snow being reported there. And you can see that band of heavier snow now just from central portions of Columbia County, northwestern Dane County, and then back down to around Mineral Point, and then a separate band lifting north of the Wisconsin River over toward Lone Rock. A little wider radar perspective shows the snow extending back into Iowa, everything kind of moving off to the east and northeast. So we'll see this move through over perhaps about a 6-hour period. I think by the time we get close to midnight, the snow, especially over the western parts of the area, will already be winding down, and areas east of Madison will probably see a taper to flurry shortly after midnight and by early tomorrow morning. Visibilities, even that snow out to the west, generally in the 1 to 3 mile range. So we're not talking moderate to heavy snow, just a steady light snow at this point. Computer model forecast from Future Track showing about a 1 to 3 inch snowfall over much of southern Wisconsin. There could be some heavier amounts in far eastern Wisconsin up into Door County. That area under winter storm warnings right now, but mostly winter weather advisories for almost all of southern Wisconsin, south of the Dells, extending into Iowa and northern Illinois for that steady light snow. Again, we're on the northern fringes of a stronger storm that's passing to the south. Winter storm warning still in effect for parts of Arkansas into southern Missouri and southwestern Illinois, but winter weather advisories have been extended out toward the east. Temperatures are pretty cold through much of the Midwest. This time of year, we'd be expecting temperatures here in Madison in the middle 30s. Right now, we're in the low 20s, and you see only single digits and teens out to the west. The storm system kind of two parts. The snow part to the north is separated from the part with the freezing rain, sleet, and then rain and even some thunderstorms down to the south. There are flood watches in effect for parts of Kentucky and Tennessee from this storm. Up to the north, there's an area of high pressure that's kind of bringing in a dry northeasterly wind flow that at least the initial snow kind of eroded on the eastern end, but now the steadier snow has started to move in as the atmosphere is moistened up from the top down. So at this point, we're looking at just a steady light snow through most of southern Wisconsin for the next few hours. Temperatures are in the 20s here, already in the teens over northern portions of the state. Wind chills, again, out to the west. And we're toward the end of February. We're still talking wind chills in the teens below zero at this time of day, and at night down to 20 to 30 below zero. They've got wind chill advisories up there again. But on future track, again, the snow moving out pretty quickly, and then we're going to see conditions improve. Tomorrow, we'll still see a fair amount of cloud cover. Temperatures will be cold, but out to the west, the winds will already be shifting to a more southerly direction, and that will give us a big warm-up that starts on Saturday. So, again, winter weather advisory in effect until 3 a.m. for Crawford, Richland, and Grant counties, till 6 a.m. the rest of southern Wisconsin south of the Dells. Occasional snow overnight, tapering to flurries by after midnight, low temperature dropping to 13. Tomorrow, a dry day, variably cloudy and cold with a high temperature of 25. As we look at future track, again, the steady snow through the evening hours, that's 9 p.m., but notice by midnight, the snow already starting to end out west, and then by early tomorrow morning, the snow pretty much over with. 1 to 2, maybe locally 3 inches in a few spots. 7 to 10 day forecast, temperatures jump up to the mid-30s over the weekend, and then low 40s early next week. I did have to cut the temperatures back a bit for Wednesday and Thursday, but that's still about average for this time of year. And then milder on Friday with some rain showers, maybe mixing with snow Friday night into Saturday of next weekend. As we check out first warn traffic, the snow really hasn't started to stick to the ground here in Madison. This is the view of the Beltline at Stoughton Road from the DOT traffic camera. Right now, just some minor delays eastbound on the Beltline approaching Park Street. There were some delays westbound around Fish Hatchery Road. Looks like those have improved. So right now we're looking at pretty much a normal travel time, about 15 minutes either direction on the Beltline. Heading out of Madison down to Janesville, 25 minutes. Middleton to Sauk City, US 12 will take you 17 minutes. Downtown to Sun Prairie, East Washington Avenue, and US 151 will be an 18-minute trip. That's your news for now, first warn traffic.
All right, thank you, Gary. The events overseas will have a tragic toll of lives lost, but the ripple effects will be felt economically around the world. We'll have a closer look at that next at 5.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Spruce up your bathroom with a beautiful new bath or shower from Mad City Baths. Installed in as little as 1 day, infused with Microban antimicrobial protection for easy cleaning.
The maintenance on the shower is nothing, just a wipe down every now and then, and that's really been really nice since the old one was much more than that.
You can count on Mad City Baths to do the job on time and on budget. Now, listen to this. Mad City is looking for 50 homeowners who need a new bath or shower. 50 homeowners will save with free installation, 18 months, no interest, and no payments, senior military discounts, and will compensate you for your time. Just call in now to get a $50 Amazon gift card with your free in-home estimate. From Madison throughout South Central Wisconsin, call now with zip code and location to qualify, 608-729-4466, 608-729-4466.
Living with metastatic breast cancer means being relentless because every day matters. And having more of them is possible with Verzenio, the only one of its kind proven to help you live significantly longer when taken with fulvestrant, regardless of menopause status.
Verzenio plus fulvestrant is for HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer that has progressed after hormone therapy. Diarrhea is common, may be severe, or cause dehydration or infection. At the first sign, call your doctor, start an antidiarrheal, and drink fluids. Before taking Verzenio, tell your doctor about any fever, chills, or other signs of infection. Verzenio may cause low white blood cell counts, which may cause serious infection that can lead to death. Life-threatening lung inflammation can occur. Tell your doctor about any new or worsening trouble breathing, cough, or chest pain. Serious liver problems can happen. Symptoms include fatigue, appetite loss, stomach pain, and bleeding or bruising. Blood clots that can lead to death have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have pain or swelling in your arms or legs, shortness of breath, chest pain, and rapid breathing or heart rate, or if you are nursing, pregnant, or plan to be.
Every day matters, and I want more of them.
Ask your doctor about everyday Verzenio.
Instead of being impartial, media outlets have become advocates for the Democrat Party. They got Joe Biden, who campaigned from his basement, elected president. Now they're covering up the disasters his policies created by attacking and censoring anyone who exposes the failures. But they can't hide inflation, higher gas prices, and rising crime from the people devastated by them. I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message. I will continue to ask questions and uncover the truth.
After 30 years of making quality furniture affordable and with tons of in-stock items, I'm asking more Bobs to help, like Robert Van Winkle Vanilla Ice.
Oh, the Fusion bedroom set. You looking to update?
Oh, yeah. The one that we have now is so 90s, it's way too outdated.
But the 90s were sort of cool.
Were they? I made terrible fashion choices.
I shaved lines on the side of my head. Okay, well, this is available in a black or white finish.
Great. We don't want anything that's too vanilla.
Right. Right.
Shop what's in stock, in store, or at mybobs.com.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
The conflict in Ukraine is already having an impact on Americans' personal finances, and one UW expert says things will likely get worse in the short term. Moses Altsek from the UW-Madison School of Business says he expects gas prices to hit at least $4 a gallon here in Wisconsin, and other consumer products and foods like wheat will increase as well. But he says he expects a recovery within a couple of months unless Russia takes its invasion plans even further to other countries.
Sometimes, quite frankly, $4 a gallon at the pump, for me, is the price you pay to standing up to thugs who want to conquer the world.
Very good. He says the more severe U.S. and European sanctions are, the worse he expects impacts to be on the U.S. But Russia and Ukraine aren't major trading partners for the U.S., so our economy should be able to handle the impacts. What's happening in Ukraine could send a ripple effect in many corners of the world.
Well, with more on how it could have an economic impact globally, Elise Preston reports from New York.
Americans woke to the sight of war in Europe as Russia launched its invasion of Ukraine, and the shockwaves may be on their way here to the pump, where drivers are already facing the highest prices in years.
Are you concerned that it's going to keep getting worse?
Yeah, it probably will. I wouldn't be surprised if it does.
Russia supplies 10% of the world's oil, and the prospect of disruptions has driven the price over $100 a barrel for the first time since 2014. It's pushing gas prices up past $6 a gallon in Los Angeles County, with the national average already at $3.54 a gallon.
I was shocked to see the prices.
Beyond the pain at the pump, higher gas prices can have a significant impact on the broader economy, translating to less travel, less eating out, and less shopping. With inflation already at the highest level in decades, the crisis could affect everything from automakers to grocery stores.
We also could see agricultural prices for wheat and corn because Russia and Ukraine are big exporters. And finally, we could see metal prices when we look at iron ore, we look at palladium used in those chips that we need in cars.
The White House is watching, but says larger issues are at stake.
Standing up for our values is not without cost. What we're trying to do is minimize that cost.
Rattled stock investors took a roller coaster ride. The Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 800 points at the open before rebounding on the upside, as traders contemplate what could be Europe's biggest land war since World War II. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
And for a more in-depth look at how the events in Ukraine will be impacting prices both in the U.S. and in Wisconsin in general, we have a link at channel3000.com. Stay with us while the final check. Your First Warn forecast when we return.
You're watching Madison's fastest growing newscast, News 3 Now at 5.
It's your last chance to get our very best deals of the season, including doorbusters up to 65% off. Plus, take bonus holiday discounts off our sale prices in-store and online. And interest-free financing for 5 years. The biggest President's Day sale in Wisconsin is on now at Ashley.
Attention homeowners, we're looking for 50 homeowners whose bath or shower doesn't look so good and is hard to clean. Call Mad City Baths now to take your bathroom from outdated to outstanding in as little as 1 day. From walk-in showers with a low threshold entrance to walk-in tubs with relaxing hydrotherapy. So why wait? This opportunity won't last long. Remember, we have special savings for 50 homeowners. Free installation on a new bath or shower. 18 months, no interest and no payments. Senior and military discounts. We're going to take before and after pictures. We're going to compensate you for your time. Last chance to call in to get the $50 Amazon gift card with your free in-home estimate only from Mad City Bass. From Madison throughout South Central Wisconsin, call now with zip code and location to qualify, 608-729-4466, 608-729-4466.
Important healthcare announcement. If people tell you your TV is too loud, or if listening in some environments has become difficult, we are requesting your participation in a special program called the 30-Day Challenge. Hearing Life Hearing Centers are seeking people with hearing difficulties to evaluate a new digital mini hearing aid now being released. To take part in this event, you must call. Please get a pencil and write down the number below. All people with hearing aids or hearing difficulties are wanted to take part in the 30-Day Challenge, evaluating a new high-tech device that sits discreetly behind your ear. This hearing aid is Bluetooth enabled and is rechargeable. All hearing assessments are performed at no charge for those taking part in the challenge. Participants will try these hearing aids for 30 days. Call the number below and take the Hearing Life 30-Day Challenge.
The Wisconsin Fishing Expo is back at the Alliant Energy Center Expo Hall in Madison, February 25th through the 27th. The Wisconsin Fishing Expo is back with new gear. The Wisconsin Fishing Expo is back with awesome seminars. The Wisconsin Fishing Expo is back with hard-to-find boats. The Wisconsin Fishing Expo is back with family activities. Go to wifishingexpo.com for details. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Outdoor News, Don's Marine, Fox Sports 1070 The Game, Lucas Oil, and Explore Lacrosse.
It's your last chance to save at Furniture and Appliance Mart's President's Day blowout sale. Millions of dollars worth of inventory in stock and ready to go. All with no interest financing for 18 months. No one in Wisconsin has appliance offers like these at Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley of Madison.
More coverage of the Russia-Ukraine conflict up next on the CBS Evening News. You can follow the latest coverage in a special section at channel3000.com.
There on the homepage, you'll find the latest from Ukraine and what the U.S. and its allies are doing. And coming up tonight at 6, we speak with a Ukrainian woman now living here in Madison about the Russian conflict.
Well, let's go back to Gary for the latest on what's happening with the weather.
Well, we have a band of snow just moving through the Madison area right now. The snow should start picking up in intensity here in the city. Visibility is out to the west, generally between about 1 and 3 miles. So the snow coming down at a pretty steady pace, but not too heavy. Additional snowfall, this is from the latest Future Track model, an additional 1 to 2 inches as we head through the overnight hours.
More updates in a half hour on News 3 now at 6. CBS Evening News is next.